I love living in Pakistan. I can't believe that's a controversial statement. People are actually almost offended whenever I say that. They come up with a million reasons why I must be wrong. And this comes from Pakistanis themselves before anyone else, actually. So in this video, we're talking about why I love Pakistan, a Muslim majority country. Now, this one might be a little bit longer than my usual one, so feel free to mess around with the timestamps in the description below and jump to whatever part interests you most. First of all, I'll admit I would probably love a lot of other Muslim majority countries for having these same perks, which I'm going to be talking about. But since I am currently living in Pakistan, that's what we're focusing on. So the first thing that stood out to me as an American was the treatment of women.
Respect for women!
Now, I've worn niqab since I was 17, alhamdulillah. I started while I was in America, actually, and there's a whole video on just that on my channel if you're interested. But the way that I dress in America, basically, and the way that I dress in Pakistan is the same, alhamdulillah. But the treatment that I receive is obviously very different.
And everything to do with the Islamophobia.
In America, the vast majority of locals honestly don't usually care enough to be negative about hijab or niqab, but still you do get racist remarks here and there. For example, one time I walked into a store and the store employees, they were just acting so scared. Like one of them did like a dramatic gasp and like they were saying like, oh, masks are not allowed in the store.
Masks?
This was obviously pre-COVID, which, by the way, actually exposed so much hypocrisy in anti-niqab people, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, because suddenly everybody's covering their face. But that's a whole other topic. Anyway, basically, she didn't want me in the store just because I wore the niqab and apparently looked scary. Compare that to Pakistan, where niqab is actually super normal. The popularity of the niqab, honestly, it varies from city to city. For example, Lahore has less niqab actually compared to a city like Karachi, for example, where majority of the women cover their faces for various reasons. So the normalization of niqab, though, this was something that I was actively looking for. Like, I remember the feeling of wanting to stand amongst a crowd of people and not looking any different or special. And I obviously in America, that never happened. I could never find that. It was impossible. But as a niqabi, you find that so easily in Pakistan, alhamdulillah. Even if people don't wear the niqab themselves, the overwhelming majority of people do respect it and will even praise you for it, actually. Compare that to even Muslims in America. The aunties in the masjid, they always felt the need to tell me that they don't believe niqab is Islamic. Okay, why don't you tell that to Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha, our mother, who praised a group of Muhajirin women for covering their faces when the verses of the Quran about hijab were revealed. I have a short video actually talking about this if you want to see the Quranic evidence for niqab, by the way. Especially as a mother, it was important to me to think about what I'm allowing my son to be around. And I didn't want him to be around sin. I don't want him to become desensitized to seeing a woman's aura, honestly. And I think as parents, we will probably be held accountable for this, actually. And it just seems a little contradictory to me personally that, like, you tell them, oh, this is bad, this is a sin, we don't do this, we don't do that. But then you're surrounding them in an environment that constantly promotes and celebrates exactly that. Just personally, it just doesn't make sense to me. And some people will say, oh, it's on TV everywhere now, no matter where you go, you can't escape this. Well, actually, that's not true at all. We don't have a TV in our house, alhamdulillah, and I don't watch movies because it's just filth, to be honest, and I don't watch dramas, whether Eastern or Western. I just don't have the time to waste like that, honestly. So alhamdulillah, my son is not seeing the aura of any woman actually on TV or in real life. And how many of us parents can say that about our children actually? The point is though, it's just so much easier basically to protect your children's fitrah when you're in a more Islamic environment. And not just your children's fitrah, but your own self as well. One more thing I have to mention is all of the opportunities also that you have to become not just a better woman, but also a better Muslim, to serve the ummah and even learn more of your deen, actually. So take my neighborhood, for example. Right across the street from me, my closest friend actually, she's a teacher of a weekly tajweed class. 2 streets behind me, there's actually a tafsir class, a weekly tafsir class. There's also another tafsir class a couple more streets away. The street behind me, there's like a lovely lady who actually hosts like a young girls get together with the aim of Islamic development, amongst other things, obviously. And there's also something for much younger kids as well. Like on Saturdays, I think they do like twice a month or something. All of this is in walking distance. Imagine how accessible and easy it is. And consider, I don't even live actually in a religious part of town. I actually live in an area that has a bad reputation for being too modern. So imagine if the modern part of Pakistan has all of this, then what is the religious part like? Allahumma barik, mashallah.
I'm impressed. Good for you.
And all of these people, they stay away from bid'ah, by the way. They talk about like current issues. They're very well read and they're well connected and like, just like Allahumma barik, they're honestly amazing. I can't say enough good stuff about them, mashallah. Compare that to America, for example, where the only durus that people would have in their homes were usually just reading out loud from books that also contain a lot of false information, actually. And it's also always at least like 20 minutes, if not way more, of a drive away. See, when you live in a Muslim country, like Pakistan, for example, honestly, it's just so easy to find genuinely religious, kind people. I'm actually also a part of the administration of an organization called Niqabi Bloggers Community. And we hosted a little picnic for bloggers in my age group who also wear niqab. It was magical. Honestly, it was the most beautiful thing. Literally, you guys don't understand. In America, the only Niqabis I knew were always much older than me. They all had multiple kids while I wasn't even married. I never had a group of friends, honestly, that really looked exactly like me and were in a similar age group. Even though I tried so hard to find that, because I actually moved around America quite a bit and I'm really good at making friends and I love hosting parties and all this stuff. But I just never had a group of girlfriends that looked exactly like me until I came here. I mean, look at this picture. You literally can't tell which one is me unless you actually know me in real life. And I've mentioned before, I don't cover my eyes in real life. But even then, I just never was able to find friends that I genuinely 100% fit in with. So including obviously the physical appearance, like even if I met people that I got along with, I've had amazing friends throughout my life, alhamdulillah, and I'm still connected with a lot of them. But moving here and joining this group, the Niqabi Bloggers Community, it really gave me the blessing of finally feeling like I actually fit in somewhere. Alhamdulillah. And that's just on finding like true sisterhood, basically, right? I haven't even gotten into the opportunities that you have over here of serving the ummah. Anyways, until then, share this video with anyone who thinks Pakistan sucks.
You suck.
Which is probably a majority of people, unfortunately. I don't know why. I really don't understand. And please do connect with me on Instagram. I'm really bad at replying to emails, actually. So if you'd like to generally keep in touch, and have any important questions, Instagram is actually the way to go. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.